Today's episode is brought to you by the country of Finland. I had actually met a girl on the Facebook, right, randomly from Finland a few years back. I think we met on some random mutual video game post, and I don't know, I liked her comment, and then sparks just flew. It's weird though that that's how some relationship stories are starting now, you know? Like, oh, how did I meet your mother? Well, I liked her pic and then gave her a wink, and she sent me a emoji and then a pic of her face, cross-eyed, holding her tongue out like she was ready for a cream pie, and I knew she was the one, son, you know? Anyway, yeah, so about this girl, right, from Finland. She's beautifully thick, right, and young. I'd say her early 20s, and we talk about how our days were, and I would be up super early in the morning for work and texting her because over there it's like the afternoon, right, or night, so it worked out, right? And she spoke great English, and she was super depressed like me, so yeah, it was a match made in heaven, I guess. And then we stopped talking for a while, maybe I would say like a few months. And when we did end up reconnecting, she started going by a different name, and now she identified as like gender neutral, and she's like, oh, I don't go by she, her, I'm they, them now. Which I was like, hey, that's cool. Like, I'm down with that. We can still spoon though, right? You know, and she was all for it. I mean, all she really changed was her pronouns, and she cut her hair like super short, so I think she was still a fox in my eyes. I mean, I wouldn't mind being a bottom and getting pegged by a Finnish woman. Or, sorry, not a woman, I mean a person, you know, my bad. Anyways, then I went through a really dark phase for a while, and fell off from talking to not only her, but just everyone in general, you know. And maybe a year later, when I did finally, like, start to communicate with people, and I reconnected with her again, they started going by she again, and I'm like, okay, things are pretty promising now. So, you know, I'm talking to her, I'm watching a lot of 90 Day Fiance, and I'm seeing, maybe when there's another season coming up for TLC, I can hit them up with that message, you know, and get like a reality gig and really get going with this shit, you know. But yeah, talking to her got me thinking what Finland like was actually known for, and I actually found a few interesting things that like I didn't even know came from Finland, right? Other than like hot women, or hot people. Have you heard of the metal band Lordi? Like they kind of look like a Gwar knockoff band, but man, like those songs they're the kind that I like, but I'm too embarrassed to show people, you know? Hard rock, hallelujah, hard rock, hallelujah. Yeah, they're all dressed up like ghouls or something when they play, and I mean, you can't deny that they have like the energy, and they're going off all hard. But again, like, you know, if I'd be at work, unloading the trailer, and their song would come on my loudspeaker, I'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta change this. This is fucking embarrassing, you know? And yeah, that band's from Finland. And I even asked that chick, you know, like, oh, hey, do you know who Lordi is? And she's like, oh, yeah, they're cool. And I'm like, oh, shit, I guess they're just the musical representation of that country, you know? Would you love a monster man? Could you understand beauty of the beast? My niece has been recently getting into 90s cartoons, right? And all by herself too, so I'm pretty proud. And there was this one she told me called Moomin, and I'd actually never heard of it. And I don't know if you've never heard of it. It's a cartoon, and the main character is named Moomin, and it looks like a little white hippo or like a snow capybara or something. And him and his family are like hanging out with kid witches and hobgoblins and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, you know? So I started looking it up, you know, just to see what it was all about. And it's actually a pretty popular cartoon. I felt like I was under a rock when I heard about it. And it was actually created by a Finnish writer, and is like set in this fantasy type world, where the Moomin is technically a troll, and I guess the world is supposed to be, I don't know, a representation of the Swedish people and Finland itself. I watched a couple episodes with my niece, and in the very first one, they find a huge top hat out in the forest, and they just keep it in the house, right? Like, just to have. And then all the young characters decide to play hide and seek. Well, Moomin, the main hippo-looking thing, comes inside and he can't find a hiding spot, so he decides to hide in the hat. When the game is done and he comes out of the hat, he's turned into this nasty rat monkey-looking creature, and no one believes he says who he says he is. Well, Moomin is like freaking out, right? And the mama Moomin comes in and he's crying to his mom, like, "Mommy, it's me, Mommy, I'm your son." And Mommy Moomin's like, "I don't know." She takes a few seconds, right, to gauge it, and then she hugs the rat creature and says, "You know what? You really are my son. I believe you." And when she says that, the rat monkey is like relieved and crying tears of joy, and he slowly turns back into his Moomin self. And after that, they take the hat and throw it in the river, and it floats away, and that's it. It was like, what was the lesson we learned here? Like, it tripped me out. I mean, the characters are cute and all, but the plot was somewhat just disturbing. But yeah, if you want to check out Moomin, they actually have an official YouTube channel, just like That's All Funny. You could check out YouTube for daily audio episodes updated at the same time as the podcast. That's all funny. That's all funny. Okay. And also, there's this famous sniper from there named Simo Haihe. I can't pronounce his name. Simo Heiha, right? Well, in 1939, at the dawn of World War II, Joseph Stalin made a bold move to invade Finland. He sent 500,000 men across Russia's western border. This time was known as the Winter War, and it lasted roughly 100 days. So this guy was like a 5-foot little quiet farmer dude, right, that went to help his country. And during that short span of 100 days, he racked up around 500 to 542 kills of Russian soldiers. And that's just the confirmed kills of him. Some say that he killed way more of the enemy, right? And he did all this with like a simple rifle. Like his comrades had like telescopic lenses and shit, but he preferred just using iron sights. He said it added precision to him, and it also kept his position from being given away with, the reflections of the lenses. And this crazy motherfucker would find a position in the snow and sit up there all day and just kill any Russian person he saw. And these temperatures would easily reach freezing, but he stayed posted there, even like putting snow in his mouth, so when he breathes, it would hide his like breath from showing into the air and give away any other fucking clues of where he would be. The Soviets feared him so much that they gave him the nickname White Death, and during all those days and kills, he was never hurt until the last few days, right before those 100 days ended. He was shot in the face, and he fucked up his jaw so bad and was put in a coma for a week, and woke up right as peace was declared. And he fully recovered with the injuries. Like, yeah, it messed up his face. He looks all wonky, but it had no effect on his shooting skills. And after the war, he just went back to his normal farm life, and he lived to be 96 years old. Man, what a fucking legend. Yeah, you could look him up. He's White Death. That's his nickname, the White Death, if you want to read more about the Finland legend. Speaking of White Death, I just saw that Jason David Frank, who famously played a lot of Power Ranger characters, but mostly the White Ranger and the Green Ranger, had died from suicide. Like, whoa, I saw that, and at first it just said passed away, and I'm like, man, that sucks. He's a cool dude. But later on, I saw that it was suicide, and I was like, man, you don't even know people are sick until it's too late, I guess. Hopefully, it's like he's not really dead. It's just when the Green Ranger kind of died, and he just actually has no more power coin. So Zordon and Alpha 5 are working on getting him a new power coin, and yeah, he'll be like not only good as new, but even stronger. You know, with the fucking tiger sword. I don't know. Maybe it's just a sad situation, and now he's up there with all the other fucking Zords in the sky. Go Power Rangers. Rest in peace, white Power Rangers, white power. Anyways, I guess that's it for today. Yeah, Finland sounds like a badass place with like heavy metal music and snipers and fantasy creatures. And I know they've got some really handsome women, and I'm super into that shit. Like, oh my god, like Michelle Obama thick, you know? But yeah, I want to try and go visit there sometime and fucking just go take pictures with the White Death statue. And remember how great the White Ranger was. Like, in memoriam, go and tweet hashtag white power to show your respects for him, because we're all fighting a battle you may not see. Right? Is that how that cheesy ass quote goes about when, you know, people are suffering but they don't show it? I don't know, right? Something like that. Some really cheesy ass shit. Like, whatever. Anyway, that's it for today. Take care, and yeah, have a great week. Bye.